Hi, I'm Doug Donnelly. You're watching Cecil TV. Today, we're with Madison Rodgers. Madison Rodgers is an 11th grade student at Elkton High School who has circulated a petition to her fellow students about who may influence the removal of books from school libraries in Cecil County. Also, Madison and several of her fellow students spoke at the most recent school board meeting to voice their opposition to the banning of books. Madison, welcome to Cecil TV, and thank you for joining us. I suppose the first question I have is, what is this petition about, and why is it important now?
So the petition I started basically states reading is a right to defend. And I basically, in this petition, it's just defend your right to learn and fight against censorship. Because everything we learned in the classroom, it has a purpose. And for them to take that out of our curriculum is really sad. And it basically states that we want a student representative, be added to the reconsideration committee for the books, and that only current students and parents of CCPS be allowed to ask for reading material to be reconsidered. And that more than one form of reconsideration must be submitted to the committee before even considering taking books out of the curriculum.
Okay, so that sort of answers my second question. There is actually my third question. There is a process now. It's a recently revised process, but it, as you say, it does not include a student in the process. It's not as if someone from the public can just veto a book. If somebody makes a complaint, there is a committee formed, and they evaluate the book. They say base their decision on the book as a whole, giving consideration to the author's intent rather than individual elements taken out of context. So is your feeling that that process hasn't been followed up to now? And I guess one change you would recommend is that students be involved in the process. Is that correct?
It is correct.
Okay. So to be clear, we're not just talking about materials that reference LGBTQ matters. In some school systems, long staples of high school reading, like To Kill a Mockingbird and Of Mice and Men, have been removed because of their treatment of racial issues or class issues. From your experience, do you think students can be harmed by ideas that are either contrary to their upbringing or simply foreign to their way of thinking?
I believe knowledge is knowledge. If you don't want to read a book, then you shouldn't have to. If you decide you don't want to read something just because you don't like it, you don't have to. But I feel like having the option to read it is better than nothing. If that answers your question.
Yeah. Right. And I mean, it's you can't be hurt by an idea, really. It may expand your knowledge. You may learn more that you don't like something or agree with something, or you may, somehow, add it to your belief system. People are free to think. So I attended high school in the early 70s, forever ago, a period that was great. Was great social disruption, mostly about the war in Vietnam. So student activism back then was pretty common, even among high school students. It was very common, but not so much today. Do you consider yourself an activist?
I know people have used that word. I just think I'm doing what's right. I want to call myself an activist.
You don't want to call yourself an activist? Well,
I think I'm just making it known that it is a problem.
Right.
And I'm doing everything I can to try to do it. But if people want to call me an activist, I guess it's up to them.
Sure. And the what do you have to say to your peers who, if they're not happy with what they see happening in their schools or the community or the country, what is your advice to them?
I asked them to speak up. Nobody knew this was an issue until I brought it up and made it known, because most of the kids in my school didn't even know that books were being banned. And then I started going to other Cecil County public schools and speaking to certain people, and they were just like, "That's actually happening? That's an issue?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they were surprised. They didn't even know it was a problem. So I say just speak up.
That's good advice. And finally, what are your plans for the future?
So I've talked to a little bit of the group that spoke at the board meeting, and I've been watching every single board meeting to see basically what everybody says. I just want to get a better knowledge of everybody's opinion and both sides, because I don't want to make a harsh idea or just shut down somebody else says, because I want to see both sides. So I've talked to everybody that has spoke and everybody that wants to speak. We're working on probably presenting speeches at the next one, and we're going to continue going to board meetings until it's resolved.
Okay. Actually, what I had in mind is what your plans for the big future.
The big future?
Your profession,
like after this?
College, whatever.
I had somebody say to me, they said, "You're working so hard for this," and they were like, "You should be a politician." And they said, "I hope to see you on the board eventually when I'm older." And I'm honestly thinking about it. Right now, I'm kind of undecided on what I want to do for college, but I am in the school of tech, so I'm in nursing. So maybe a nurse, maybe a politician. Who knows? I got a big future ahead of me, I know.
Yes, you certainly do. Okay, so Madison, we thank you for coming on, and we really wish you good luck.
Thank you.